Grundle,
Very cool.
Devin Grundle is like the funniest thing you've ever come up with. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's so funny.
Oh,
I just think it's
thanks.
He's the one who came up with the name for the show, but Grundle
is literally the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Out of all I've known you for years, and out of all the things you said, the people fucking behind dumpsters, that just is at the top of it.
That did it for me.
Should have that put on my tombstone.
Yeah, your tombstone.
This is not a Grundle
site
appropriate area. My tombstone is the only place where Grundle is off limits.
Here lies the CEO of Grundle.
Grundle.
Oh,
no
man.
Fucking behind here.
No, yeah.
People.
Yeah.
In quotes, no fucking.
Put your willies away. Put your willies away. Right.
Oh, bro.
Put your willies away, bro. What the fuck?
Oh, man. Well,
shit.
Welcome to the show. We are the Cheesy Gordita Bunch, the official podcast of the Taco Bell Cult Facebook group. I'm your host, Nick Ortiz, and with me, as always, my co-host, Devin Hanley, and the Avocado Ranch on this and the Avocado Ranch on this loaded chicken flatbread taco, Jordan Cravens Krenek. What up?
That's goody.
How's
Jordan,
it going,
you just
friends?
sound better and better every week.
Oh,
Hey, I appreciate that.
It's been one year. I think I'm trying to think like how many different nicknames we have for Jordan now. It's like one every episode for at least, I would say, for at least 15 episodes.
Well,
right?
Taco Bell.
I
Taco
feel like
Bell-
we came up with Craven's Krenek really early.
Oh, definitely.
And that's like kind of stuck.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like I would say like the beginning, like maybe episode 3 or 4.
Yeah,
we
I think
come up
maybe
with-
even sooner. But he's talking about the avocado ranch on the loaded
Oh, yeah,
chicken.
yeah.
That's pretty funny. But there's
No,
all
but that's been changing every single time.
that's what he's saying.
Oh.
That's what he's saying. Like he's like, we got a new one every week.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a new Craven's Krenek is just an ever evolving character who you can't really just fit into one like niche Taco Bell item.
Yeah.
He's really taken on like every possible concoction you could come up with on the board.
He
Which is
is
so funny.
the menu. Okay. Every
Flat
time you
out.
take a little bite of anything off the Taco Bell, the menu, you eating some Krenek.
Yeah, I'm in your mouth.
And I'm in your ears.
Your ears.
Oof.
I'm really excited for this episode because we are talking about us. I know Bell Nation is dying to know stuff about this dynamic trio. But before we get into that, so last week on Craven's Krenek box, it's just Craven's box. I talked about my experience at a local Taco Bell, and just to sum it up for those who didn't pay for our Patreon, patreon.com/Cheesy Gordita Bunch, I went to 2 different Taco Bells here in Austin, and neither one were open.
Son of a bitch.
That's some apocalyptic shit right there.
Facts.
It did feel like the end of the world, so I agree with you. And so what we had figured, because I'm sure everyone out in Bell Nation has heard, because CNN's reported on it, MSNBC's reported on it, that Taco Bell is going through a food shortage, as well as I think the nation is going through a whole staffing shortage. You know what I mean? Because we've all seen signs, pictures of like other fast food joints besides Taco Bell, with signs that say like, we all quit and shit, like, sorry, like, we can't serve you today because we don't have any staff. You know what I mean? And that's something that happened to me. So we are going to be talking to some Taco Bell employees to get their thoughts on the staffing shortage and on the food shortage. And just to tease it a little, I will say I did speak with a general manager that said that Taco Bell had given them expired food and they threw it out because they weren't going to serve it.
Right. Wow.
Right thing to do.
So that's crazy. So this is dark times in the nation of Bell. It is pretty insane that, with everything that's been going on with the pandemic, it is literally better to live off of unemployment than it is to go and work for $7.25 or $7.50 an hour, whatever it is at Taco Bell. And
yeah,
I mean, can you blame Bell Nation? I mean, come on.
No, not really. If I'm being completely honest, and obviously this doesn't fall on the last. If you listen to Craven's box, you know that I don't blame the employees at all. You know what I mean? This isn't the employees' faults. this is Big Bell at its core. This is their fault. But please tune in next week. We are going to deep dive into it. We're going to speak with some employees. We're going to get their thoughts because we want to know how they feel about this. I mean, they must be overworked. They must have to deal with a bunch of rude customers or, with all of this food shortage, with all of this shit that is out of their control. So please join in next episode. We're going to, again, just deep dive into it, really bust it out,
Bust it.
Yeah. And just remember, here at the Cheesy Gordita Bunch, we do talk a lot about Bell, but we are all about the frontline workers, the people on the front lines in Bell Nation. And we want to make sure that they're getting reimbursed well for their time. It must be kind of difficult, to listen to our Taco Bell podcast week after week, see the Taco Bell hotel opening and all this kind of stuff, and know that there's people out there who literally aren't making enough money to live working at Taco Bell. So
no, those are big facts. Those are big facts. And thank you for touching on that because I think we all, look, when I say we, I mean like America as a whole, have this misconception that it is just children working at Taco Bell. I know I've made jokes in the past with like, oh, it's just a fucking 17-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to expect them to remember that shit. But no, they're like actual parents and grandparents and people who do this for a living. And I think that we always have this misconception that it is some child, making your cheesy gordita crunch. Mm-hmm. That's why, people rather not pay them a living wage. You know what I mean? Because it's supposed to be a job that's just a stepping stone. But that's just not the case at all. This is a humongous misconception. And that's just something that we're going to be touching on next week. So please join us and leave us a fucking review.
Fucking leave us a review.
Nice. This is a really funny place to slip that in. Like we're out here advocating for the rights of workers who are on the front lines of Bell Nation making our food every day. Please leave a fucking review. For the love of God, please leave.
Yeah, no. But now I think we should talk about Bell Nation's Most Wanted.
Love this section.
Tonight on Bell Nation's Most Wanted, how a group of hooligans turned a peaceful night of fast food tranquility into a grand finale of poop-splattered proportions. Guaranteed to get them fired on the spot. Hope you brought some toilet paper to wipe your arson, because Bell Nation is about to lock these folks out.
Yeah, so last month in Nashville, a shift leader was arrested after she and some of her coworkers were playing with fireworks inside of a Taco Bell. All right, and we're not talking about the cool Cantina Taco Bell, all right? We're talking about some fucking random bumfuck Taco Bell. Now, allegedly, there's a video of the that shows the employees locking the doors of the store to keep the customers out. Then they go into the restroom where there are no cameras, mind you. And apparently they light fireworks in the trash can.
Oh, man, that is so fucking dumb.
It's so stupid.
Where's the proof? If it's not on film, I don't think any.
There's markings on the ground.
I don't think any self-serving Taco Bell employee would do that.
It's called arson.
And let me ask another question. Was this on the 4th of July?
Had to be.
No, it was actually, it was reported on July 13th.
Okay.
Reported on, but that doesn't mean.
I don't know. They would wait almost 2 weeks to report on like a damaged on a damaged Taco Bell. I don't know. But
inconclusive.
I was going to say on the 4th of July, I'd let it slide. You know what I mean? Taco Bell is
it's okay. It
Taco
just
Bell
burned down our restaurant.
Company. People got a little carried away with their patriotism. What are you going to do?
That's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. And my thing is like, aren't there sprinklers in the men's room?
I don't think so.
Gotta be.
There's gotta be, right? Like that's gotta be against like some code.
There is one.
I feel like there would be some like real, just like rancid poop fumes sending those things off.
Yeah, that's why they don't have them specifically in the Taco Bells. But why isn't there cameras in there? You know what I mean?
Why isn't there cameras in there? I mean, hopefully they use something cool at least. Like, fuck, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe hopefully it wasn't sparklers. You know what I mean? Set the building on fire.
Bro, if you go to jail for lighting some sparklers, that is the softest shit I've ever heard. Oh my god. Now, they did throw away those items in the lobby of the. They did throw those items into the trash in the lobby. But they wanted to go. They went outside to film like the smoke and all that shit, and they realized that they had locked themselves out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they locked themselves out, and this bitch went ablaze. But luckily, they did call 911 before completely burned down.
After you got it on the gram, of course. Do it for the gram.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it for the Vine. You got to do it for the Vine.
And the fire department came. They put it out. But ultimately, they did $30,000 worth of damage inside of the restaurant. So that goes. So Bell Nation's Most Wanted goes to Courtney Mays in Nashville, Tennessee. The best shift leader we got. Thank you so much. That is hilarious. Hats off to you. Mighty salute.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough to do, but Courtney, you did it.
Yeah.
Can we play the national anthem while we watch this?
Absolutely we can. Absolutely we can, because that is very patriotic to almost burn down a Taco Bell in the spirit of 4th of July, the spirit of freedom. Oh man, well,
that's funny as fuck.
Bell Nation, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search Cheesy Gordita Bunch. Also, leave us a review on iTunes.
Let's go. We need those.
I know I had already mentioned that, but please, leave us a review.
Wait, Nick, what do you want them to do?
Leave us a review on iTunes.
You filthy animals.
Now, I think we are really happy to announce that we are officially having a Patreon. And I want to say we appreciate any support we get from y'all. Just consider joining our Patreon. We do have... I have 2 tiers here in the script, but we actually have 3 tiers.
3 tiers, y'all.
Yeah, 3 tiers. The first tier is a Bell Nation Loyalist. That is at $2, and you get a Patreon shout-out and some early... You get to listen to the episode a day early.
Let's go.
How cool is that? Before anybody else,
we have a Bell Nation Loyalist at $2 per month. You get early access to episodes and a shout out on our podcast. And then, of course, you got the Bell Nation Loyalist Supreme for $5. And with that, you get extra cheesy content, a shout out on the podcast, and of course, early access to episodes. And actually, we have a pretty good series out right now. It's called Craven's Box. And, of course, we did reference it early in the show, so please check it out.
Yeah.
And then we have our last tier, which is the Order of the Golden Bell. And in it, not only will you get, a shout-out on the podcast, early access to episodes, exclusive cheesy content, but you'll also get exclusive merch to that specific tier and a monthly Cheesy Gordita lunch with us.
And don't forget, you'll get a song by yours truly, serenaded to you while you sleep in your bed with your eyes closed.
Yeah, so please consider joining. We appreciate any support that you have, any support that you're willing to give us, because we really appreciate any listeners out there that's willing to take the time to listen to an hour of 3 guys gush about Taco Bell, right?
Yeah. And what's cool is we're gonna have some grandfathering in. So as we expand our Patreon, we have a limited number of people that we will allow to just have some of the best benefits, even for some of the prices that they've locked in. So there'll be some benefits for getting on board early, and that's just our way of saying thank you, and that we appreciate you because it's beautiful to see people like you take those first steps with us. We love that.
Yeah,
makes me shed 3 tears.
So act now.
Yeah. So
act now.
So act now.
Get your credit. Take out your wallets right now. Get out your credit card and go to patreon.com/Cheesy Gordita Bunch.
There you go.
Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Is that the actual?
That's
the website. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Patreon.com/Cheesy Gordita Bunch. But yeah, hey, thank you in advance, and of course, you will receive a message from us as soon as you do. And we are kind of working on, I say kind of, but we are actually working on some really cool exclusive merch for that Patreon tier. I don't know if I want to give anything away.
No, we'll come back to it though. But guys, we got some gushy stuff coming.
Some hot fire.
Hot fire. When I first joined Grundle, I was really skeptical, but honestly, Grundle's changed my perspective on online dating.
It was so easy to sign up, and I just knew this would be something special.
With Grundle, they bring the matches to you.
This isn't about looking through 1,000 pictures just to see who you're attracted to. You know, there's no secret formula. It almost seems random.
Hi there, you dirty fucking heathens. I'm Devin Scamley, and here at Grundle, all we need to know is if you're cut. You don't need to use your real name, your real shoe size, or even your real credit score. We don't care. In fact, we don't care about much of anything at all. I don't care about you, and I certainly don't care about homeless people. The only thing we do care about is if your credit score is a 600 or higher. If it is, you're not welcome here. No, lady, man, or every possible variation. We just need to know if you got that skin on top.
I didn't believe in true love, but somehow Grundle found my perfect match. It's like they were reading my diary.
It was an experience unlike any other.
Totally anonymous, passionate sex behind a dumpster.
Dirty, passionate sex behind a dumpster.
At Grundle, our experts have 2 hats, one for those circumcised and one for the rest. Out of each hat, we pull 2 random names. It could be anyone from a prominent Republican, Ted Cruz, to a homeless person.
Sure, my first few encounters were homeless people, all right, and I'm not completely sure if they were using the app, but at least they had the proper amount of labia lasagna.
I met my current partner on Grundle simply docking behind the dumpsters at Trump Tower.
Download Grundle today and let our intuitive selection process choose your match. And the first 50 people who sign up will get exclusive access to Grundle Plus. For $20, you'll get a compatibility profile where we consider girth and provide a bang bus option instead of fucking behind a dumpster. Grundle, it's like Uber, but for fucking behind a dumpster.
All
Gushy.
right. Well, on this episode, we're talking about us, the Cheesy Gordita Bunch. It is our 25th episode. We've been doing this officially for a whole fucking year. Can you believe that?
It's dope. Time
That's
flies,
pretty.
dude.
It's pretty amazing. You know, it's pretty amazing that there's like this year where a lot of shit really hit the fan. A lot of really weird things. Times have been really tough for anybody, for a lot of people. You know, it's just really nice to have been with you guys, you know, through this entire journey together. And, you know, despite all the darkness in the world, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that golden bell. And, you know, it's just another testament to the light that it shines upon all of us.
No, that is big facts right there, my friend. And I think we should just ask. I think we should just let them know how we met.
Yeah, how did we meet?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Lay it on us.
So, the year is 2017. All right? And I get a call from a guy who sounds like the biggest hipster alive, and he's asking me if I want to get set up for an interview. And that is old Devin Hanley himself.
There it is.
Yeah.
Devin called you for your
Hit that
interview?
applause button.
Yeah, he called me for it, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'll be there. Don't sweat it."
Devin did my O day.
Oh,
my
really?
orientation, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was me and one other girl, and we both like knew that she wasn't gonna do this. I mean, he was like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so that's how I met Devin, and I actually met Jordan before this. Before all of this, he knew someone that I knew. We had crossed paths. It was it World Ventures?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had hosted a World Ventures thing that I had went to, and if I'm being completely honest, I wasn't into like something that seemed like an MLM to me. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't given any time of day to Jordan, because to me it felt like a scam. It wasn't. I'll say that right now. It totally wasn't.
No, it was fire.
But Jordan and I, once I started working for the company we all work for, Jordan and I became like best friends, like almost instantly.
Yeah, we were boys.
Yeah, almost instantly. My first day, me and Jordan went out there. I fucking got 3 on my first day, 2 monthlies, 1 annual, and
Let's
Jordan
go.
was the biggest hype man alive. It was fucking awesome. But yeah, that's how I met these two. And I think we were friends from like the jump. Like all 3 of us, like once I got, because I really didn't know Devin until I started working directly underneath him. And
Yeah.
but after that, it was like smooth sailing from there.
Nice, yes. And
Yeah, and
little
I think-
background is we all work and in just the world of fundraising, we fundraise for charities. So like Devin does a lot of recruitment and kind of back office stuff, and Nick at the time was a fundraiser, and I'm still doing like fundraiser stuff as well. So just a little context, we were fundraising for some good charities.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I would say, how long do you think it was before we realized our unanimous love for Taco Bell? Because I feel like it was at least a couple weeks before we all really landed on this together.
So like once I standed in, like got in the office. Well, actually, we're gonna come to that in a minute. So we'll get there. But yeah, so I remember the first time I met Nick. We ended up just like talking on the phone. It was great. And long story short, I met Devin prior, because I met Devin first because when I showed up after my interviews and stuff, Devin did my orientation, and then I just kept calling Devin every day I needed something, and like for like the first like 3 weeks, Devin kept telling me, stop. He's like, I'm not your director, like stop calling me. But I hadn't seen Malik. I had worked here for like the first 2 months. They kept talking about this Malik guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, who is he? I talked to Devin. Yeah. And he kept telling me to like call Devin, but all I saw was he kept telling me to call Malik, who was the the manager at the time, but he was never there when I got there. And so I just knew Sally and Devin, and that was it.
Devin running the show.
Yeah, and I got to like work with Devin a little bit. He was still coming out and canvassing at the time, which was kind of fun. So we were having a good time doing that shit. I learned a bunch of shit from Devin for sure. Like that fun shit. We just had fun out there, bro.
Oh yeah, everything. Anytime you ever talk about anyone, like at least when I first started, anytime you would bring up Devin's name, they would always talk about how fun the dude was. You know what I mean? Like how funny he is. They would also mention that he used like crystals for deodorant. You know what I mean? Which I don't think
I didn't even use those. People thought I used crystals, but actually I didn't use anything.
Oh, we knew. And
people thought they were crystals, but they were actually just nothing.
Yeah, that's very true.
So like as we started to move positions and like time passed, how did we end up like starting the podcast? So like what I remember very like clearly was once, especially when I moved into that regional position. Excuse me, Nick moved into the office a year and a half before that probably.
Yeah.
And Devin had pretty much always been in there. And once I moved to that regional position, I needed a little bit of time in the office for some of like my stuff. Like I needed to take a full day and do that. So I had to do more of that. And so they were already in there doing other stuff in different departments, but we like shared this room.
Oh, bro.
At work. And that room, oh man, so much conversation has been had in that room. But
Good thing there wasn't cameras in that room, like the Taco Bell bathroom.
But what I really remember was like we would go to lunch together, and we would just like we didn't catch it at first.
No.
But we would just like go to Taco Bell like twice a week.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it would be more than twice a week. Like I remember going to Taco Bell and Whataburger a bunch.
Dude, yeah, I remember we were just like straight diarrhea, like on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
From how much Taco Bell. I mean, I kind of recall like a very specific time where we drove to Taco Bell. We were all in the car together.
I remember this.
And we were talking about some sort of item on the menu, and we just kept talking and talking. And I think it was then that we really realized that we could kill a lot of time talking about Taco Bell. I think we realized that we could produce enough content to fill, at least a couple hours every other week.
No.
I really liken it to like how the Beatles were formed. You got Nick, who's like John Lennon, and you got, of course, Jordan's our fucking Paul McCartney. Of course, I'd be, George Harrison for me all the way.
Yeah,
and we were just in the
Jacob
car,
is our
and
Ringo.
Nick was like, wouldn't it be fantastic if we started a Taco Bell podcast and told the entire audience about Taco Bell? And Jordan was like, "This is a fantastic idea, John. I think that we should definitely get on that." And then Cheesy Gordita Bunch started, much like the Beatles.
Oh, dude, and it was so funny because we actually, the first thing that we said to each other was like, we put ourselves in a group chat, and we call ourselves the Bell Boys.
Yep.
The
Yep,
Bell
Bell
Boys.
Boys.
And I
Mhm.
remember that shit.
Bell Boys.
And that shit was hilarious. And then we ended up changing it later to just like the Cheesy Gordita
because
Bunch.
Devin,
and Devin
because Devin came up with that, and
Yeah.
we're like, oh my god, that is such a good fucking name. Well, I don't think actually, Jordan, I don't think you know this, but Devin and I were gonna be on a podcast with John Riley. We were gonna do a
That's
political podcast.
Okay, I may have heard this once, but
Yeah.
I don't remember it like very clearly.
Yeah, we were gonna do a political podcast, but like every other podcast that never starts, we were just too lazy. You know what I mean? Like John Riley just was just like, all right, whatever, and he just went off doing his own thing. And yeah, me and Devin were just like, I guess we're just gonna be two funny dudes just telling jokes in the office.
You know,
So,
I will say in
holding on to that-
retrospect,
holding on
I'm
to that
glad that we
talent.
went down this angle. I'm glad we didn't went down this avenue opposed to the incredibly original idea of doing a political podcast. We're the first ones to do that.
Yeah, and also like I'm thinking like who the fuck wants to hear my opinion? You know what I mean? An in-depth analysis on the fucking insurrection. You know what I mean? On January 6th. Who gives a fuck about what I'm saying? You know? Like,
Move over, Sam Cedar. It's Nick and Bill Bill's Political Hour.
And I mean, I don't know. I think that we all have such a good chemistry because we are all friends outside of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We did have a lot of time to bond with each other. I mean, I know we had mentioned this in our friendship episode number 3. You know, where like I was, and also our Thanksgiving episode where I mentioned that I was really thankful for
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah.
And-
that was special. I feel that shit to this day.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if I'm jumping the gun talking about how this has made us better friends, but I absolutely believe that this podcast has really brought us a lot closer together than working together has. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely.
No, absolutely.
And
I was
you-
just telling Nick the other day because I'm really particular about where I spend my time, and my time goes so fucking fast, and I'm very, very like meticulous and particular about how I use it.
Yep.
Because I care, and it's a finite resource, and I understand that one day I'm gonna die.
That's why he's a quick nutter.
I hate you. That was so good. But no, seriously, like I'm like so in tune with that, and I understand how finite our time is, and I care about that. And so I really do value like who I spend my time with and my friends. You know, I was talking to my other friends, and they were like, "This guy, he loves his friends." He's talking about me, right? He's like all about his friends, like his friends, and I am that way. Like I'm way closer to my friends than I am my family.
Yeah.
Because I just fucking love my friends. Like I got to choose those, you know.
Yep.
Not that I don't love my family, but
Totally.
like
You heard
it's
it
a-
here first. He hates his family.
But but like I am like my growing up, like I felt like my friends gave me more respect, and
Yeah.
like we had more fun, it's just stuff like that. But my things are different. But the point is, I care about my friends way more. And Nick, as one of my good friends, even just like 2 weeks ago, I was hanging out with him, and we were talking about, and we're actually done. We were talking about the podcast. We were done recording something. And I looked at Nick and I was like, man, I just want to thank you, bro. Like, I really appreciate you for, the story I'm about to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just really appreciative because you've shown me what's possible, and like part of what I like my life to be, what I value about my life is that I can show people what they can do. I can show people what's possible. I can give people an opportunity to be more if I can go be more myself. And that inspires people when they see what's possible. There are people out there that go, me too.
Yeah.
Because that's where I got like a lot of inspiration for my goals and what I want to do in my life and the vision and what I want to create and how I want to leave leave the world. And it's because other people did it first and they showed me and it made me believe.
Yeah.
And Nick has shown me that through this podcast, like what we can do. And I think that is like, cause it's like, when we first started, truly to be candid, I was like, this sounds so fun. Who's going to fucking listen to this? You know what? I don't fucking know. I don't know. And should we do this? I don't fucking know, but this is going to be fun because we're funny and we have a good time.
Yeah.
And so like, this is just one little thing that I've gotten from it. It's like, man, we can make this something, and I didn't know or believe that at first, not because I was truly doubting. I just had never.
You were ignorant to it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, like you two are so like Devin. You're like a fucking incredible like musician, right? Which is like awesome of like it makes it brings so much to this.
Yeah.
And then but you're like
Where's that applause button?
but you're also
I
like
want some applause on this.
but you're also like both of you are so like in tune with like current events and like social things that I'm like a little less engaged with at times. And so you two are like all into the podcast, and I had never done podcasting before or even really listened
I was
to
gonna say
any.
you don't really listen to podcasts, you know.
But
Cravens
like,
is just making us blush over here.
but like, you know, this kind of stuff it just like opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Brought me to like a little bit of a new world. And made us better friends. You know, when you fucking do shit with your, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, Devin. I know you're gonna say something a minute ago, and I'm sure you lost it now. but like when you like do shit with your homies or even your family, you like take arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you say like we're gonna go in this direction together. You're gonna like face obstacles. You're gonna deal with shit.
This is an endeavor for sure.
It's an endeavor, and like I fucking love doing shit like this with my friends, just like I was doing with World Ventures, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like I fucking love doing shit like this with my homies because we get to do shit, build shit together, and there's nothing like building something meaningful.
I was like, damn, okay.
There's nothing like building something meaningful and like, you know, and positive and like putting that in the world. So like that to me is why, you know, how it's connected us and made us closer, and you know what the podcast like kind of has done for me so far.
Cheers. Hey, here to that, Jordy. Cheers, man.
My guy.
And you know what? I think this is also a testament to the big round table that is Bell Nation. You know, hopefully you out there, our listeners, have felt that love coming through your speakers. You know, I think what makes this such a great show and what makes this such a connecting thing is our ability to encompass all of the people in Bell Nation who feel the way that we feel. And, you know, this show is built upon tight, good friendships and, you know, hanging out and talking about food with the people you love.
And
So
you know what's funny is like we went to a South by Southwest show at a Taco Bell one time. Yeah, like like Taco Bell is like so integral to our friendship. You know what I mean? Like me and Devin, when I used to work under Devin, we would go to Taco Bell and we would like talk about like just random shit. You know what I mean? Like anything from like who's better, the Beach Boys or the Beatles, or what state is more memorable, California or Connecticut. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
The conversation, just so everybody knows this, it wasn't about the Beatles and the Beach Boys. It was Kanye West better than the Beach Boys?
And yes,
so don't try that revisionist history.
We've determined that yes,
let them know what that was.
I met somebody recently who was a board member in Germany for Adidas. He knows Kanye, bro. He talked to him all the time. I'm gonna have to link you up.
Oh,
for
please,
Adidas.
please do.
For Adidas.
Adidas.
He's an ex board member. He's retired now. Adidas is what they call it in Europe.
Now, also one thing I really thought that was a lot of fun at like the beginning of the show is when Devin would bring in the songs for like our themes, or like we'd ask him to make a random song about like when we were talking about the different decades of logos, and Devin made a song for each decade. And we just thought that is the funniest, the best shit we've ever heard.
Can we just give it up for Devin?
Give it up for Devin.
Where's that applause button again? Get that thing fired up.
And it's so funny. You can tell Devin's not used to taking compliments because every time you would give him a compliment, he would get defensive.
What do you mean? What do you mean you think that's good?
No, but I mean, it's just, I think that we've grown so well, and like we have such a cohesive like chemistry that it's just, you know, I feel like no matter what we talked about, it was going to be funny. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I do think that we should talk about our favorite episodes.
No, I'm ready for that. Let's do it. I'm like ready to pop off.
Okay,
here.
go ahead, Jordy.
All right, pop off, Jordy.
Yeah. All right. So, every time I think of that, I think of like that fucking Dave Chappelle skit. He's like, "It can't come on all of us." The homeless dude on the bus. All right. Anyway, favorite episodes. Okay, by far my favorite episodes are like I love the fucking Taco Bell episodes that we did over Halloween, dude. Those are so good to me. They were so funny. Those are some of my greatest, like my favorite episodes. The episode where we told the ghost stories.
Oh, that was such a fun episode.
That's such a good episode. And what was so incredible about the episode is as I'm like listening to these stories and like we're talking about them, I actually got chills and shit. Like, like they're like actually scary to me. Like,
That's so funny.
you know what I mean? And like the episode, I could, and the way the stories were told, I'm such a I have a photographic memory, so like I can see images in my mind really nicely.
Yeah.
Really clearly. And so when it was being told, I could see the picture in like I could see it happening, and that's why I think that's kind of was like engaging me so much, because I could just the story of it like moved me, right?
I mean, honestly, that was our first episode where we had actual fan interaction. You know what I mean?
That's right.
We reached out to Bell Nation, to some of the frontline workers, and we got a good response. But that was when I also started getting into like the Taco Bell groups. The Taco Bell groups where like a bunch of employees are. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved those episodes. Also, one of my favorite episodes by far was the one that we talked about the it was right around the election. It was like
we talked about the super PAC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Taco Bell and politics.
Yeah.
Not because like that was like my favorite topic. It was very relevant. It was good and it was appropriate and I really liked it. But like I just loved how much fun that episode was. I remember just laughing so much, and I remember us flowing so effortlessly that episode. It felt so good, and I remember putting it down, being like, "That's a banger right there. Like that's a winner right there." Yeah, like I just remember feeling that like so clearly on that episode. And then I'll pick out a favorite moment or two as well. So like we'll do favorite episodes and favorite moments. So like. One of my other favorite moments. So the other episodes that were my favorite were like I said, there's a Halloween one and like I really like the political one. And when we did the favorite, one of my favorite moments was bringing Glenn Bell back from the dead.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
When people talk about like when I talk about our podcast to people, I'm like, yeah, like we brought Glenn Bell back from the dead. Like it's funny. Like if you listen to it, it's not like we don't just talk about like here's what's in the meat. Or, not that wasn't also one of my other favorite episodes, because it was.
Oh
such a great topic. So that was also one of my top like 4 or 5. But we brought Glenn Bell back from the dead. But I think other than that, my other 2 favorite moments. Number 2 is
that Jordan's. Are these your top 10 favorite moments?
I know, I know. I'm like going on because I keep remembering stuff, but there's 2 very distinct things, and then I'll like pass it on. I swear.
Pretty much episodes 1 through 21.
What through 24 because it's 25. Yeah. So okay, no, 2 things clearly and concisely. I really, really, really loved the episode that we did. The moment. One of my favorite moments was when we did the fucking Stephen Gomez audio over the fucking reggae music, bro. That shit was hilarious, dude. That was the first. Whenever like I talk about when we first had the show, that was a moment that I talked about to everybody. Yeah, it was just the funniest shit. Like we put the bubbles in there.
Yeah.
Like that shit was so fucking funny, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was just this hardcore stoner. So I really like that. That's probably like my top moment, right? Because it just was so fucking funny to me. Like when we were recording it, I laughed so hard. You can't like really tell. I was fucking dying, like y'all. Like I'm telling you, it was so funny. And then the other thing, God, I can't deny that my favorite moments are every time we step into battle.
Yeah.
And I walk away with the crown. God. I walk away with the crown.
Oh.
Sweet victory.
So you're talking about my least favorite part of the show. Glad that we can split hairs there. And so those out there in Bell Nation know where me and Jordan differ on this.
Yeah.
The what's the name of our favorite segment there, Nick?
Oh, Believe It or Not. I'll probably put the audio in here too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just banging. And then I just have to leave it Leave it pretty much there. Those are like my favorite.
Cool.
Those are like my favorite.
Now that you've
moments.
made it nice and simple for us.
I think there's actually one more, but I'll let it ride.
All right, DJ Dill.
All right, here we go. Favorite Favorite episode. I'm looking at this right now because I really do need to see it laid out in front of me. I think my favorite episode across the board was probably our worst rated and reviewed Taco Bells.
Oh, great
I think
episode.
that for me was just really exciting. It's something that I was always curious about, and I think anybody out there who's a true fan of Taco Bell, before they go to sleep at night, before they close their eyes, they wonder what that worst Taco Bell looks like. As the CEO of Grundle, I can tell you that it really does matter. The location of the dumpster, the smell coming out of the Taco Bell really does vary from location to location. So factually, from that standpoint, I thought that was our best episode. I also, I gotta give another shout out and some love to Lana Wells. When we had the Lana Wells episode, I thought that was fantastic. She was a pip. I hope she's out there listening to this right now. I learned a lot about, the inside scoop on what happens, and after the bell dings,
After the bell dings.
And then, I think that the greatest moment that we've had on the show so far has been Fries with My Guys. I think
Nice.
Nothing better sums up the rapport and the round table that is your three guys here, your three hosts, than Fries with My Guys.
And we have another
Titillates
episode.
the audience.
We got another episode coming out soon because Fries and My Guys.
Yeah.
We'll be running around too on that.
Yeah, and we'll be talking with 7-Layer Podcast. 7-Layer Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And is that all you have?
Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Okay, all right, great. Well, I would say my favorite episode. So all of my favorite episodes are just based off of the shit that I learn. Because
Fair enough.
Because it's safe to say that me and Jacob do predominantly most of the research on the show, and some of the shit that you find out is just absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? Like finding out about like how Taco Bell failed twice in Mexico. I talk about that shit all the time still. You know what I mean? Like people are like, "Oh, taco," like a couple weeks ago, some people like started talking shit to us underneath one of our Instagram posts, and it was like, "This is so disrespectful to tag hashtag Mexican food." And I'm like, "Bro, look at the episode. The episode's about Mexico." You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to get viewers.
Yeah.
You know? But I really loved it because you think that they would be like fit swimmingly in Mexico. You know what I mean? Like just if you're ignorant to Taco Bell and you think that they're like Mexican food, you think that Taco Bell would be thriving in Mexico, but that's just not the case.
No.
You know? And then also to learn about the E. coli outbreak from Glenn Bell himself.
That was great.
Up in White Heaven.
White,
you know what I mean?
White
Like,
Heaven is
yeah.
fucking gold.
And I'll say, like one of the great parts about this podcast that I've always loved, or at least my vision for it, is like I want to stretch like my comedy. You know what I mean? I want to like be able to write more bits, and you know what I mean? And I feel like this is the perfect place to do it. That's why Devin and I did like the Count Tocula, the Taco Bell.
That was such
vampire,
a good one too. That was really funny.
Taco Bell
yeah.
Santa, and
Man.
the resurrection of Glenn Bell. It wasn't resurrection. It was
Seance?
the seance of
Yeah,
Glenn.
seance,
Yeah, the
yeah.
seance of Glenn Bell, and we talked to Mexican pizza. You know what I mean?
Mexican pizza,
Like-
one of my favorite characters.
Halloween is coming up soon.
Don't
so
say-
we
Let's just not say Mexican pizza's name anymore, and hopefully he doesn't show up. He's probably
you have to look into a mirror and say Mexican pizza's name 3 times.
yeah, and but I would say that my favorite episode is our very first episode.
Good episode. Great
yeah,
episode.
It was still one of our most popular episodes.
Naturally.
Yeah,
It's our flagship.
yeah, and because it was a rough episode. You know what I mean, in the sense that like audio wise, like
We were newer, yeah.
we were new.
We were
to
a bunch of free-spirited, starry-eyed kids back then.
but like we had just a natural like thing together, you know, and sure we talked about this for years. Like when we created the Bellboys like texting group, that was like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like that was way before we even like actually like started laying the groundwork to make a podcast.
Yeah, because that's one thing to tie us in was how we started it was we fucking got pissed because they discontinued those fucking items.
They discontinued those motherfucking items.
right.
And we got so pissed and we were like, Nick was like, I'm fucking done podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like we should start a podcast and we can talk about
Nick
this
went
shit.
into a Taco Bell, lit a bunch of fireworks in the bathroom, and fucking blamed it on the employees.
Went outside, recorded it, and
Locked
then
the
locked the
door.
door on the way
And
out.
locked him in.
Locked
him
the
out.
door.
Locked him in.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, Jesus.
No, but and I mean I think that's one of my favorite episodes. I
Yeah.
listened to it recently. It's so good. You know what I mean? Like it's so good.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah.
And the shit I've learned, you know what I mean, between in just 25 episodes, you know what I mean, is insane. You know, my cholesterol's up for sure. And I checked, and I've only spent since we've started the show on how much Taco Bell I've spent on it. $257.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
That's
it. Wow.
See, wow, you're killing over
Well,
here.
you
on
know
the,
that
on the cravings.
you know that
savings.
expression that it takes.
Huh?
You know that expression that it takes like 10,000 hours to become a professional at anything, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
an
yeah.
expert on anything.
That's a
Have
Malcolm.
you ever heard that?
That's a Malcolm Gladwell book called The Outliers. Yeah.
Cool. There we go.
Fuck you, Devin. Yeah, cool.
So
Come on,
so I would
if y'all can find
I
out,
would say that we're
finally,
about 1,000 hours deep.
Devin, wait, I finally get a second to fucking show that I know something, and you fucking poop on it. Okay, so kiss my ass.
I
okay?
would say we did fall into these roles really well. You know what I mean? Like Devin is the music man who provides really funny content, provides voices and jokes, and then Jordan just laughs. On cue, there it is. You know, like Jordan
That's
just
funny
laughs,
as
and it's
fuck.
fucking awesome. And I mean, I guess we should just shout out Jacob. Like, hey, Jacob, thanks for doing whatever you do.
Jacob, thank you for all that you do, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, this
My guy,
this
we
show
appreciate
would
you.
not be what it is without people on the back end who don't get the screen time. But
Yeah.
you know, shout out to Jacob
Getting their hands dirty.
for sure.
I listened to a podcast that he guested on. It's called.
That he what on? Say it again.
He guested.
Okay.
Is
sorry.
that the right word?
Guess it.
He guested on.
Guested works for me.
Yeah, that
I'm
he
just
was a
kidding.
guest on. It's called a D&D storytelling podcast. It's called You Had to Be There, D&D storytelling podcast, and it's really good. You should definitely check
Is
it
it
out.
funny?
I don't think you'd get it because
Oh.
it's like a lot of D&D inside jokes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Haven't played enough. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Haven't played enough. Now, one thing about Taco Bell, and I think that we could all speak to this, is doing a Taco Bell podcast. We've had to pay more attention to the items. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So in this
definitely, yeah.
past year,
Oh yeah.
what do you think your favorite item that you've run across?
You know, I used to poop on the Crunch Wrap, but now I ordered one today. I mean, it's
You're a Crunchwrap man. Every single time we get like an Instagram story from him, it's always about how he's coerced some fucking poor Taco Bell employee to put a bunch of shit in a Crunchwrap.
No, that's facts. I mean, there is a time or two I have straight up aggressively bullied the person at the fucking into putting shit into my Crunch Wrap.
Yeah,
you
today
know?
what you put rice and fries?
Yeah, actually, I didn't even fucking notice the rice. Damn
Oh.
it. You know what? I'm gonna try the rice thing again because I don't think they put enough. They gave me a little tiny one. You know, it's like
Yeah.
bullshit. So yeah, they didn't give me the right portions on that. There's barely any seasoned beef in there. You know, we love the beef. Anyway, so yeah, I like fuck with the Crunch Wrap for sure. Like that's a banger for me, bro. Now you know, like I've talked even just a couple episodes ago, we were talking about the Crunch Wrap not being like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Just too much tortilla, but like there's so much you can like customize it so much that's fun for me. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I started ordering it because once I got the chipotle and the sauce inside there with the extra cheese
Yeah.
and nacho fries and a little bit of and then a shell instead of the
Yeah.
tostado, we get the Doritos Loco shell.
Yeah.
It's a banger. It's a motherfucking
It
banger.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like one of my favorite things now. So, and then on top of that, I just put like the fucking nacho fries into like everything I can.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
So-
And then,
so Jordan-
so
so-
Crunch Wrap, and then I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna run with the naked chicken chalupa. The
It's
naked.
bigger.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I was going to ask. I was going to say a lot of tried and trues there. Not too off the beaten path.
Yeah.
As far as, but yeah, definitely that last one. That is
Yeah, the
about
naked-
as far off the beaten path as you can get with the naked chicken chalupa.
Yeah, I love everything naked chicken.
Yeah.
The naked chicken chips, bangers.
Banging.
My favorite way to
Plow.
eat chicken is it being wrapped with a chicken shell.
Yeah,
All right.
those are.
So here we go. I'm going to give you. Oh, were you done, Jordy?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to get the Dill 3. That's right. My 3 favorite things that we ate this year. Number 3 was the triple chalupa. Now, if everybody remembers, the triple chalupa was those 3 chalupas that were kind of
Yep.
human centipeded together, if you will.
Thanks
but
for the
man, were they-
visual.
man,
Thanks for
were
the
they
visual.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mouth to asshole chalupas.
Yeah, exactly. If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. It was delicious. So the triple chalupa was definitely number 3. Number 2 was the chicken bacon chalupa. Now, the chicken bacon chalupa was only on the menu for a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah.
So leads me to think that it wasn't popular. But I thought it was great. Really, as far as chalupas go, one of the best ones.
I like chalupas. I fuck with chalupas, so I get it.
Yeah. And then finally, number 1 with the bullet. Folks, you saw this one coming from a mile away. The best item on the menu is the Cheesy Gordita fucking Crunch. Has been, still is. The only thing that I might put on top of that, because it was a newer item, was the grilled cheese burrito.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
wait.
I'm happy-
the grilled cheese
I'm happy
burrito
you
was
mentioned that.
very good. Yeah.
Let me give you my top 3, okay?
Let's hear it, baby.
Number 3 is the chicken bacon chalupa. I had that bitch so much. Oh my god, it is so delicious.
Something about that chicken bacon ranch flavor just is.
It's the avocado ranch mixed with the bacon, and then it felt like it was different seasoning than the regular seasoning. It was just absolutely delicious.
Bell Nation, I wish you could see his face.
Yeah, my mouth is watering.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
I tried to make my own at home, and it wasn't the same.
they do sell chicken seasoning. And then my number 2, oh god, this one's so hard, but I will have to give it to the naked chicken chalupa. That bitch is also amazing. The fact that they're able to make a artificial looking piece of chicken into a tortilla shell is fucking fantastic.
Just a testament to human innovation. It's like Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, and the dude who was able to figure out how to make a chicken
Hey, we
wrap
might do
around itself.
a naked chicken chalupa episode. We might have to. You know what I
Naked
mean?
chicken chalupa is it's an exceptional piece of
I think that
I don't know, item.
it walked so the double stack KFC could run. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
The double
Yeah.
the chickens as the buns.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the naked chicken chalupa is fantastic, and they just recently stopped. They actually still may sell it there. at
I
Taco
think they
Bell.
stopped a couple weeks ago. Just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I tried to
But-
get one. They didn't have one anymore.
My absolute favorite item is the grilled cheese burrito.
Great item.
That is just. I'm.
That was
speechless.
November. That was November for
What the
Nick
fuck? How do you
last
remember
year.
that?
Was that November?
I feel like November, we all went pretty hard on the grilled cheese burritos.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
good.
I don't remember the month specifically, but there was a definite month where we were fucking hard with.
Yeah,
with grilled
and I
cheese
mean-
burritos.
We were fucking the burrito hard. We were fucking the grilled cheese
we
burrito
were
hard.
fucking them.
typically-
We were bringing the burritos into our cars and putting them on our penises and fucking them.
Oh, it's so fucking nasty. I'm sorry for any Taco Bell employee listening to this at work. But the grilled cheese.
We didn't do it in the drive-thru. We parked and then did that.
We went into the bathroom. There are no cameras in there.
Yeah, there's no cameras in there.
Yeah.
That's where all the fireworks is happening.
That's where all the fast is lit in that bathroom. But no, the grilled cheese burrito, man, what an innovation. And all they did was add some red chips, some extra Chipotle sauce. You know what I mean? But like, it was so fucking delicious.
No,
and
it
I
was a
don't like
banger.
burritos.
Me neither.
I don't like burritos.
I don't order burritos when I go to.
No,
to
only
Taco
time
Bell.
I'll get
But
a
that shit
burrito
is
is when
good.
I'm in California, and it'll be a California style burrito.
Carne asada.
Yeah, and some fries. You know
Fair
what
enough,
I mean?
Fair enough.
But yeah, man, hats off to Taco Bell. They've being completely aware of the menu and how it's changed. You can really see how innovative Taco Bell actually is. You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
Taco Bell, pretty good restaurant.
Yeah.
Innovative.
DJ Dill, you have anything else?
No, I think that no, I don't. I'd say, here's what I'd say. You know, any of you virgins out there in Bell Nation, you know, never listened to the show before, don't start with this one. I'd say if you're thinking about starting with the show, skip over this one. You know, it's probably better to start with episode 1.
I'm really glad Devin said that at the end here. That's
If you've made it this far,
turn around.
maybe now's a good time to switch over to episode 1.
If you were to recommend an episode, which episode would you recommend?
I'm gonna hands down recommend the Pepsi, Taco Bell, Doritos collaboration or episode 1. Those are gonna be like my first go-tos. But I usually don't tell people directly like, hey, go go to listen to this one. I usually say, just dude, listen to any. Like,
okay.
Because what we provide is so good. If you listen to any of them, you're gonna fucking love it. But you know, I like to tell people that to listen to either the first episode, the newest episode, or the Pepsi. You know, Jake's. What's it called? What's his name?
What is it? Was it?
Fuck, something's Brad's drink. Brad's drink.
Oh man, Devin was trying to put that song on any episode he could.
So yeah,
Man.
I always tell people because that's one of my favorite episodes.
I really thought that was going to be my. I really thought that was going to be my hard day's night. That one.
But yeah, I always tell people that because like that has one of my favorite moments, and I know if anybody fucking hears this first Steven Gomez quote, they're gonna fucking bust out laughing. And
Okay,
I love
fair
it's
enough.
so funny to me. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But Bell Nation, thank you so much for listening to today's show. Again, next week we will be talking with some Taco Bell employees to discuss the food and staffing shortage that is affecting Bell Nation, and and of course how it's affected frontline workers. But thank you again, and I'm your host, Nick Ortiz.
Yeah, Bell Nation, we love you so much. Thanks for being with us for this year, and we're so excited for another spin around the Taco Bell sun. We'll see you next week.
Cool. Thanks, y'all. It's your boy signing off. Just want to say thank you. We love you, and let's keep listening in. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and right before we go, I do want to say that Jacob and I are playing a D&D game. All you have to do is look up startplaying.games and then look up Jacob Cordas. You can join our game. You can play with us. So please consider doing that.
Fun.
And have a great time. Say Baja Blessed.
Holla.
This show is made possible thanks to listeners like you. For more great Cheesy Gordita Bunch content, follow us on social media. And if you'd like to support the show and hear exclusive bonus content, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Cheesy Gordita Bunch.